A life cut short. Stacey Dramiga's morning ritual. San Antonio, Texas. A vibrant city known for its rich history and warm community spirit. For 63-year-old Stacey Dramiga, San Antonio was home. Her mornings often began the same way, a refreshing walk along the Salado Creek Greenway Trail. The trail, a popular spot for locals, offered a tranquil escape amidst nature's beauty. Stacey cherished these moments of solitude, a time to clear her mind and embrace the serenity of the surroundings. The familiar path, the gentle rustling of leaves, the morning sun filtering through the trees. These were the simple joys that marked the start of Stacey's day. She was a familiar face along the trail, a friendly presence known for her warm smile and kind greetings. Stacey was more than just a regular walker. She was a part of the fabric of this community, a beloved neighbor, friend, and colleague. Her sudden absence would leave an undeniable void. The disappearance. A beloved face vanishes. Sunday, September 22, 2024. Stacey Dramiga set out on her usual morning walk, a routine she had followed countless times before. She waved goodbye to her husband, a promise of a shared breakfast upon her return hanging unspoken in the air. It was a promise that would tragically remain unfulfilled. Hours passed, and Stacey failed to return. The familiar sound of her key in the lock never came. Concern gnawed at her husband's heart. He knew something was wrong. Stacey was dependable, always punctual. Her unexplained absence was a chilling departure from her usual routine. He tried calling her phone, the ringing unanswered echoing the growing unease in his chest. Friends and family were contacted, a network of worried voices joining the desperate search. Where was Stacey? Had she fallen? Had she gotten lost? The questions multiplied, each one heavier than the last. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the city, the chilling realization dawned upon them. Stacey Dramiga was missing. The vibrant morning had given way to a night filled with dread and uncertainty. The search was on, a race against time to find their beloved Stacey. A community in shock, searching for answers. News of Stacey's disappearance spread like wildfire through the tight-knit community. The Salado Creek Greenway Trail, once a place of peace and tranquility, now became the center of a frantic search. Neighbors, friends, and strangers alike joined forces, their shared concern a testament to the impact Stacey had on those around her. Flashlights cut through the darkness, their beams illuminating the path Stacey would have taken. Calls of her name echoed through the trees, a desperate plea for any sign, any clue to her whereabouts. The silence that followed each call was deafening, amplifying the growing fear that gripped the community. The Brooke Army Medical Center, where Stacey worked, released a statement expressing their deep concern and offering their support to the search efforts. Stacey was a beloved member of the BAMC staff, the statement read, and will be greatly missed. Her colleagues, stunned by the news, remembered her as a dedicated professional and a cherished friend. The local news picked up the story, Stacey's smiling face plastered across television screens and newspapers. The city of San Antonio held its breath, united in hope and fear, waiting for any news, any glimmer of hope in the search for their missing neighbor. The once vibrant community was now shrouded in a cloud of anxiety, desperately hoping for Stacey's safe return. Grim discovery. A trail of tragedy. Monday, September 23, 2024. The sun rose on a community holding its breath, clinging to hope. But fate had dealt a cruel blow. The search took a devastating turn. In a wooded area, the unthinkable was discovered. A team stumbled upon a scene that would forever etch itself into their memories. Stacey Dramiga's lifeless body lay amidst the trees. The discovery sent shockwaves through the community. The once tranquil trail was now a crime scene. Section 2. The Medical Examiner's Report, Unraveling the Truth. The Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office began their meticulous investigation. Every detail was carefully examined, searching for answers. The autopsy report confirmed the worst fears. Stacey Dramiga had been the victim of a homicide. The words painted a brutal picture of her final moments. The image of Stacey clashed sharply with the clinical description of her death. The findings brought a chilling clarity to the tragedy. It was a deliberate act of violence, leaving a gaping wound in the heart of San Antonio. Stacey's life remembered. A wave of grief washed over San Antonio as news of Stacey Dramiga's death spread. The Salado Creek Greenway Trail became a stark reminder of the tragic loss. The Brooke Army Medical Center where Stacey worked became a focal point for grief. Colleagues shared stories of her kindness and professionalism. Her family released a statement expressing their profound sorrow and gratitude. Throughout the city, candles were lit, flowers were laid, and prayers were offered. The community mourned her, united in their grief and determination for justice. Section 4. The investigation begins, a search for justice. With the confirmation of Stacey Dramiga's homicide, the Bexar County Sheriff's Office launched a full-scale investigation. Sheriff Javier Salazar, a seasoned law enforcement officer, stood before the community, his voice heavy with the weight of the task ahead. He vowed to bring Stacey's killer to justice, promising to leave no stone unturned in their pursuit of the truth. The investigation began with a meticulous examination of the crime scene. Every inch of the area where Stacey's body was found was scrutinized, searching for any trace of evidence that could lead to her killer. Forensic specialists worked tirelessly, collecting samples, analyzing footprints, and piecing together the puzzle of Stacey's final moments. Sheriff Salazar held a press conference, appealing to the public for any information that could aid the investigation. He emphasized the importance of community cooperation, urging anyone who had seen Stacey on the morning of her disappearance to come forward. The community, eager to assist in any way possible, responded with a flood of tips and leads. The investigation was a complex and challenging undertaking, but the Bexar County Sheriff's Office was determined to bring closure to Stacey's family and to the community that mourned her loss. The search for justice had begun, a promise whispered in the wind that carried the echoes of Stacey's name. Sheriff Javier Salazar addressed the community, resonating with the collective grief since Stacey Dramiga's disappearance. He assured them that the Bexar County Sheriff's Office was working tirelessly to bring closure. Salazar's voice carried a somber tone, understanding the weight of responsibility. He spoke of Stacey as a member of their community, appealing for public assistance. He urged anyone who had seen Stacey to come forward with information. Salazar's plea was met with hope, resonating with their desire for justice. The investigation into Stacey Dramiga's death began with a meticulous reconstruction of her final hours. Detectives retraced her steps, painstakingly piecing together the timeline of her morning walk. They sought to establish a clear picture of her movements, hoping to uncover any clues that might shed light on the circumstances leading to her tragic demise. The Salado Creek Greenway Trail, once a place of tranquility for Stacey, became the focal point of the investigation. Forensic teams combed the area, searching for any trace of evidence that might have been overlooked. Every footprint, every broken branch, every discarded item was carefully examined, each holding the potential to reveal a piece of the puzzle. Investigators reviewed surveillance footage from nearby businesses and residences, hoping to catch a glimpse of Stacey on her final walk. They meticulously analyzed the footage, frame by frame, searching for any sign of her or any suspicious activity in the area. The grainy images, though often inconclusive, offered a flicker of hope in the darkness. The detectives interviewed Stacey's family and friends, gathering details about her routine, her habits, and her relationships. They sought to build a comprehensive profile of Stacey, hoping to understand her life and the circumstances that might have led to her death. Each conversation, each memory shared, added another piece to the complex mosaic of the investigation. Amidst the flurry of tips and leads that poured into the Bexar County Sheriff's Office, one particular detail emerged as a potential breakthrough. A witness reported seeing Stacey Dramiga talking to another woman along the trail on the morning of her disappearance. The witness described the woman as African American, a regular walker on the trail, a familiar face among the morning crowd. This seemingly insignificant encounter suddenly became a crucial piece of the investigation. The woman, potentially the last person to see Stacey alive, held the key to unlocking the mystery of her final moments. Investigators launched a search for this potential witness, her testimony crucial to understanding the events that unfolded on that fateful morning. Sheriff Salazar appealed to the public for help in identifying the woman, releasing a composite sketch based on the witness's description. He emphasized that she was not considered a suspect but rather a valuable witness whose information could be vital to the investigation. He urged her to come forward, assuring her of the confidentiality and protection of the sheriff's office. The search for the potential witness intensified, her identity becoming a central focus of the investigation. Her testimony held the promise of shedding light on Stacey's final moments, providing crucial insights into the circumstances surrounding her tragic death. The community held its breath, hoping that this potential witness would emerge from the shadows and help bring closure to this heartbreaking case. Section 4. The investigation intensifies, a city on edge. As days turned into weeks, the investigation into Stacey Dramiga's death continued with unwavering intensity. Sheriff Javier Salazar and his team pursued every lead, analyzing evidence and interviewing countless individuals. The city of San Antonio remained on edge, anxiously awaiting any news. The pressure mounted on the investigators, the weight of the community's grief bearing down on them. They worked long hours, piecing together Stacey's final moments. The investigation was complex, but their determination remained steadfast. The media followed the case closely, keeping the public informed. Stacey Dramiga's story remained a constant presence in the news. The city of San Antonio remained united in their grief and hope for justice. Sheriff Salazar held regular press conferences, updating the public on the investigation. He reassured the community of their commitment to finding Stacey's killer. The pursuit of the truth continued, driven by the commitment to honor Stacey's memory. Section 1. A suspicious encounter. Deputies question a man on the trail. On Thursday, September 26th, a Bexar County Sheriff's deputy encountered Marco Flores near where Stacey's body was found. Flores appeared nervous and evasive. The deputy, sensing something off, decided to take Flores to the Criminal Investigation Department for further questioning. Section 2. Evasion and arrest. Marco Flores attempts to flee. When informed he'd be taken for further questioning, Flores panicked and bolted. The deputy gave chase. Flores was quickly apprehended and taken into custody, adding another layer of suspicion to his behavior. Section 3. Chilling details, information withheld, and a growing suspicion. During interrogation, Flores revealed specific details about Stacey's body that were not public, raising red flags. His inconsistent story and eventual silence deepened the suspicion around him. Section 4. A community waits. The investigation hangs in the balance. News of Flores' arrest spread, giving the community hope for justice. However, he was only charged with evading arrest, not murder. The community waited anxiously for further updates, their hopes and fears intertwined. Section 1. Whispers and speculation. A community divided. Flores' arrest divided the community. Some saw it as progress, others were skeptical. Media coverage fueled speculation, creating a climate of uncertainty and suspicion. In the confines of the Bexar County Jail, Marco Flores remained silent, a prisoner of his own secrets. His silence frustrated detectives and fueled community speculation. Investigators continued their meticulous work, determined to uncover the truth. Section 3. Seeking justice. The prosecutor's dilemma. The prosecutor faced the challenge of building a strong case against Flores without direct evidence. The decision to pursue a murder charge weighed heavily, with far-reaching consequences. Section 4. A family's plea. Stacey's loved ones speak out. Stacey's family publicly shared their grief and belief in Flores' guilt, resonating with the community. Their plea for justice served as a powerful reminder of the human cost of this tragedy. Section 1. A community grapples with loss in the pursuit of justice. The community, still grieving, grappled with the unanswered questions and the slow pace of the investigation. The pursuit of justice for Stacey was far from over, with the community determined to see it through. Section 2. The long road ahead, seeking closure and healing. The investigation continued, with the community watching intently as the legal proceedings unfolded. The road to closure and healing was long, but the community remained united in their pursuit of justice for Stacey.